Um, I'm not going to play the video, but this is the still imagery, and it is really hard to say this guy's last name. I mean, this guy, Jurjajic, can anyone help me explain how this guy's name is actually spelled or said? It's like, I know his first name's Casey, but it's Jezrejek or something like that. That's the guy's actual name. It's Jezrejek, is in this 11 car. And this, let me just open this up to bigger frame so you could see more detail. He is in the 11 car. So this is the beginning of a heat race. Danny Sams is the leader. The 11 car threw I'm going to say a halfway soft slider into 1 and 2, okay? I'm just going to say, I'll say Casey. Casey threw a halfway soft slider into 1. And where his car is at, notice where the shades of dirt are located on this. So this is where we're going to, because I'm doing still imagery here, I'm going to give you this angle, which Skyler Gee just blasted the top. Danny Sams in this 11 machine drove a very similar line, kind of, because how the entry of the corner kind of was where you see Brock Hallett back there, the white, orange numbered blue car. That's about where you entered on the bottom. You could have entered where that black and green one was, but it was just as bad. Regardless, you were kind of drifting up off of 2, it seemed like. Most people were at this instant of the night. But once again, Skyler Gee blasted the top. We'll go to the next image. And this is where I'm slightly confused. So, obviously, we see from the image before how much of a gap there was. You see where the 11 is located. Notice the shades of dirt. We go to the next one, and yeah, he's moved up a little bit, but it's not like, him and Danny Sams are almost, as far as shades of dirt, you look at the 11, you look at the 24 in this image here, they are slightly lower on the track, but their trajectory is pretty much the same from this frame to the next one. He's a little lower, slightly behind. And if you look at Skyler Gee blasting the top, I don't know who else saw this. In the video, you could kind of see Skyler Gee come down the track, kind of straighten up and just slap the 11. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know if he does either. But to me, there was room up there for another vehicle. And I believe that it looked like to me the 11 machine of Casey left Skyler Gee, I would say 1.15 of a car length to drive around him. And, well, Danny Sams ain't leaving much, but regardless, we go to the next frame. You see where contact's made here. This is what I meant by this. Look at where he's at on the shade of dirt here in this image. Let me get this even bigger for y'all so you can see. You look at where he's at on the shade of dirt in this image. So we see it there. See it there. The 11 really didn't move up much from this point, from this frame to this frame. Maybe a front tire higher up the track. Of course, this is after the contact, and when the contact was made, it shot the 11 car a little more straight. But even in the video, I feel like the 11 of Casey left a lane, and Skyler Gee made some mistakes here, and let's just say it's a racing incident, caused the racing incident to occur. And then, obviously, after that's happened, Skyler Gee just stayed in the throttle. If you go watch the video, it's weird. It's honestly weird, because you see Skyler Gee with this. Look at the gap he made up here. And Wayne County's a little dusty of a racetrack, but he makes up this ground. To me, he made like a mistake here and came down a little bit. He comes down from this point to this point. He comes down on the racetrack, because you can even tell. Look at where his tail tank is located up there on the cushion in this imagery. You see where the left rear tire is at, and even you could see the dust from where the contact is made. The car's, another half car length lower on the track when the contact is made. So he's moved a car length down from the top, from this image to this one. Whereas the car on the bottom really hasn't moved up a lane at all. And in my opinion, that left enough of a groove, enough of a lane for Skyler Gee to go by. But he didn't. He hit him, and then he, floorboarded into the back of Sams. I didn't understand that either. And then another car piles in, and we got these cars sitting over here together. Now, this is where, honestly, this is where things get weird. I guess we could call it weird. Skyler Gee gets out of the car. He comes over here. He starts wailing on this Casey guy, which apparently this Casey guy might be under 18. I'm not sure. They said he's a kid. I've been seeing the comments. He's a kid. He's a kid. He's a kid. If he is a kid, you're flirting with felony. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But he's still strapped in the car at this point when he comes over there, starts hitting him while he's still strapped in the car, mind you. Then they get out of the car. He got out of the car, walked over here to where you see the driver in the black suit is. Skyler Gee had walked around towards his vehicle, but then he walked back up and continued to, bitch the dude out, kind of at this still imagery, hit him again. And then Skyler Gee goes to walk away, and then these guys roll up onto the scenario and start attacking. You could see the hand hitting the driver in the face, Casey in the face, this guy right here. And this guy right here, in the hoodie, I don't know his name. He probably don't like me much anymore. If he did, I'm sorry. But that guy did the completely wrong thing, because prior to this hit that we see here that he inflicted onto the driver in a racing incident that could potentially be blamed on G. Let's be honest about it. This incident could potentially be blamed on G for not holding a groove at the top of the racetrack. He comes over here. He grabbed Casey, threw him into G's car. This is after they pulled Casey back up. And I believe this is after he pulled him up. I don't need to go word for word here, but they threw him across the car of G almost, or into the G car. Obviously, you see the strike here, and then had to be removed from officials, or from the incident by officials. So this was like Jerry Springer on steroids, guys. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's a bad look. In my opinion, it's a bad look. This is where I think, once again, just got back from Australia, 3 months in Australia, and how they treat this sport in Australia. I just keep bringing it up, but man, it was. Most people saw me do my Australia content. I had people message me, why ain't you bitching about something? They have to be pulling some bullshit out over there. What the hell? Why ain't you done any rant videos or this, that, and the other? There was nothing to rant about. They respected the sport. They projected it as professional. They didn't love this stuff. They put it on TV with Supercars and AFL. They presented it like it was a big, important situation or deal, like the drivers mattered, like the respect for the sport matters. Stuff like this just don't swing over there. Stuff like this right here, Skyler Gee could potentially, and his crew member would be suspended from racing in the country for, I would say, probably at least 6 months, potentially a year, from being able to compete in any style, or you're basically you won't be allowed in the pits. Your license, because you have to have a license to enter the pitting area in Australia, your license would be suspended for 6 months to potentially a year or more. I think the crew guy should be done in racing. Honestly, this guy should be done. I think if this was Australia, the guy in the hoodie here is done forever. Like, if I'm Speedway, I'm just saying, if this was a potential scenario, this guy's just done. And that's that. But that's once again, I hate to say this, but that's one of the advantages of, and a way it can be regulated and presented professionally to society, is that you don't allow the trash to keep on taking itself out on your stage of motorsports. Because you got a government body that regulates the whole entire country. And if you don't play by a professional set of rules, you get treated like a non-professional. You're not allowed in the damn pitting area. I think that's a benefit. That's one of the lacking things, because just say, Ohio Speedway, you're done for the week, you can't come back. All right, well, let's go to another track. All right, we'll be at Outlaws this weekend. Fine, we won't finish the week or something. All these excuses for the actions that's happening here just because they can afford to race. Once again, that don't happen over there, or that don't really happen in any kind of sport that is presented professionally, and maybe that's why they call it amateur. We allow it to be. Some people would cheer it to be. You know, it made me think, speaking of that Speedway Australia, it made me think about this situation. Look at this. Let me show you how it goes down over there. So there was a situation when I was in Australia, and it blew my mind. This should blow all your minds. This is Jesse Attard, right? He got taken out in a heat race. His was a little, well, he kind of did it to himself. So it was very similar. I think it was kind of a racing deal. He kind of did it to himself. He gets out the car, right? And he throws his steering wheel at a car. Flicks it off. This is at Premier Warrnambool. He's mad. No harm, no foul, right? No harm, no foul. I guess y'all would say that, right? That wasn't really a big deal. That wasn't nothing bad. That little wheel toss right there wasn't a big fine, but he was suspended from racing, banned from racing for 3 months for throwing a wheel, and fined as well. Some people say it was a little soft, although it was just a wheel toss. Some people wanted more. Some people wanted a year. Some people wanted thousands and thousands of dollars to be inflicted onto the wheel toss. Of course, it was only 500 in 3 months. Of course, not a bad guy. I mean, I'm just using this as an example of if we were regulating our American sport properly and for a presentable aspect, this professional, this high limit where everybody thinks it should be going, which I think over there, in at least their world, they're doing it right, and we could maybe learn from them. If we're going to take it professional, and this is kind of like a base model of how you deal with it, throwing a damn steering wheel is $500 and a 3-month suspension from racing in the country. Not racing Ohio Speed Week or Fast Series, racing anywhere, period. You're not allowed into the pitting areas. If that's 3 months, what the hell? What in God's green earth do you think this would be worth over there? That's why I say this guy would be gone forever from racing. This guy wouldn't be allowed in the pitting area ever again in his life in Australia for this. Attacking potentially under, I ain't got the age on him yet. I didn't go researching him that much. Obviously he's in the 11 car, which I believe that's the same car Buddy Kofoid was in. But this guy comes out of nowhere and starts attacking this guy. And then who knows what this would all be worth? Who knows what this would all be worth? And then once again, I'm still seeing a lane for a car above him, buddy. I'm still seeing a lane. If this 11 car, let me tell you something. Y'all could be like, oh, Chaz, you're soft. If this 11 car would have straight up just put that 99 in that guardrail and the 99 went flipping, and the 11 spins out and comes to a stop, and that shit happens, okay. But that's not what I saw. If what I just explained was to happen, okay. Punch the dude in the face, whoop his ass. That's not what I saw. I saw a driver error on the 99's part, honestly, because the 11 car of Casey leaving a lane is the right way to drive. That's not an error. I saw Skyler Gee not be able to hold a lane. That's what I saw. And I just can't believe that this is accepted. Not this part. Well, even this point, maybe replays need to be on these guys, dashboards so they can see it instantly before they do stuff like this. But this guy over here with the hoodie on, banned from racing, period. The whole country. That's how it should be inflicted. That's how these people, that's how they learn to be professional over there. If you don't play by the rules, you get out. Ain't no, you leave this track and go over there, no, out. And that's how they get actual punishments. Now, these punishments or these actions, I think when they're happening, the drivers, the people involved, they're not really caring if there is repercussions this night or with this series. Fuck y'all, just go somewhere else next week. That's why it happens. We don't have a real infrastructure to enforce professionalism within our own sport. And then you got the fans in the stands cheering and yee-hawing, and this is entertainment. Let the trash take itself out. If you want to put professionalism in the sport, and those people are disappointed. That way we ain't got to tell them to leave. But anyways, there was some rebuttal on the entire scenario. Some people think it was great. Oh, wait, ripping the lip. All right, we'll mix that one. Oh, what's going on here? Why did everything just crash? All right, there we go. So I put on my Facebook page, ripping the lip is getting a new meaning in Wayne County. Somebody said G needs to calm the F down. I said, I thought he left him a lane. I said, yeah, I don't know why he was slapping that guy around. Somebody said, yeah, no kidding. And especially when the kid's still strapped in the car, G is a bitch. He needs kicked out. People are saying this across the board, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. They're saying that Skyler Gee should be done. It's too bad we don't have an actual infrastructure to enforce that. The crew guy should be done completely, in my opinion. He needs kicked out. Agreed. Plus, some of the crew fighting is terrible on the track. Now, see, this is where you get into that gray area. You know, you've always heard fighting in the pits. No fighting. We've heard the intro at the Chili Bow. Fighting in the pits. If you do it, you're kicked out. You're blah, blah, blah. But if you do it on the track, I'll give you $50. So it's kind of catch-22. But, man, some of these guys need some replays. I missed it. I want to see. I hate that MFer. Somebody hates him. Once again, I said I thought he left him a lane. Somebody asked if I was there. No. G gets DQ'd for the rest of the night. Crash Fest. These guys suck. Might as well put fenders on. There was another rebuttal from a decent racing guy. Let's see here. Shawn Michael. Oh, that's not the decent racing guy. Shawn Michael, G should be parked for a few races. Wow. Shawn, classing it up, are we? Wow. Shawn Michael, when he sees the replay, he was going to smoke Sam's if Casey hadn't slid up into him. No reason for his BS. Honestly, the crew members should be ejected. He threw Casey into G's car, like I was saying, and could have hurt him pretty bad. Now, how old is this Casey guy? Is he underage? Is this guy underage? 2005. What would that make him? Is he just turned 18 then? Wow, that's crazy to think. 15 would be 10. And then obviously 25 would be 20. So is he 18 or 17? January 19th. So I think that does put him at 18. Just turning 18, I believe. But still a kid. Casey Jezerjek. Is that how you say it? Did I get it right? Drives the Heat Star car usually. But regardless, that is a incident that, the sport needs to crack down on this stuff to be able to present it in this next level fashion that y'all want. You know, the fight in motorsports is on the track. In race cars, the battle, the race is the fight to me. And like I said, circumstantially, that was bullshit. Circumstantially, if he destroys his car blatantly, maybe you react like that, but does the crew member come and do that? The crew member should be done completely in the sport. Let's see what y'all are saying.